So, welcome you guys back. So, our today's topic is gonna be inequalities. Inequality, okay? So, our today's topic is gonna be inequality, and this gonna be some introduction, okay? So, so let's just go straight to some real problem. Cause in this section, there's not many really important property. Really important property, you guys need to know it. Okay, so we have totally 8 question in this section. So now is the time for you to if you know solve the question is easy for you, then you can actually just skip it. Okay, otherwise I will fully explain all the question in detail, and then I will tell you guys whatever you need to know in those questions in order to solve it. Okay, so let's move into question 1. Okay, so let's move into question 1. So what you can see in question 1 is we have a 9, we have a 6, and we have something blank in the middle, right? So one thing I want to say about the equality, right? So today's our topic. The topic is actually inequality, right? So everything about equality, so let me write it down the words equality first. Okay, there's some basic information you need to know it in order to solving those questions. Okay, that's okay. So about inequality, all we have is lesson. We have a lesson. Okay, we have a lesson, and then we have a bigger than. Okay, so those are the sign, and then we have a lesson equal to. So you write it down, lesson equal to, something like this, and then we have a bigger and the equal to. Okay, we have a bigger and equal to, and then we have equal, right? So okay, so we have a lesson. So you just write it down the words lesson. That's the words. Okay, but you actually write it, you just write down those. You just write down those signal. Okay, lesson, and then we have a bigger than. Okay, bigger than, and then this is just equal. Okay, this is just equal, and then what we have over here for less than equal to, it's just simply less than equal to. Okay, and then for this bigger and equal to, so it's bigger than equal to. Okay, so you need to remember those sign, cause those will be, you have to remember those sign. We are using those sign, in order to, solve the question. Okay, you are using those sign in order to solve the question. So over here for the first question, we have a 9, and then we have a 6, right? So obviously 9 is bigger than 6. So you write it down the bigger sign. Right, the bigger than sign. So 9 is bigger than 6, right? So 9 is excuse me. So 9 is bigger than 6, right? That should be common knowledge, And then what we have over here. Okay, I will try to cover that information. Okay, at least up on this point. Okay. So over here we have for question 2, right? For question 2 we have a 0, and then we have a -5. So if you know it, then you should right away 0 is actually bigger than -5. Okay. So 0 is bigger than -5, right? So maybe okay. So we have a 0 and a century, and then we have a 1, and then 2, and then 3. So those are the positive number, right? Those are the positive number, positive integer. And then we have a -9, -2, and then maybe something to -5, right? So 0 is actually bigger than -5, right? 0 is actually bigger than -5. Okay. So let's move into question 3. Okay. So question 3, we only got one thing over here, which is x bigger than 2. Okay, so how you write it down the words? You just write it down x bigger than bigger than bigger than 2. Okay, so you just write it down x bigger than 2. That's it. Okay, and then you see there's a line over here. So we got actually a line over here, right? We got actually a line over here. Let me erase it because we don't actually need this one. Okay, I just want to make sure it's clear. So how you actually draw x bigger than equal to 2 on a line. So basically so in the century we have a 2, right? We have a 0. Okay, so we have a 0 on the century, right? So 2 will be on the right hand side, right? So maybe we assuming here it's gonna be 2, right? So we have x bigger than 2, right? So we just draw. So you just draw a 0 at the century to make it easy to to know which direction you goes, right? That's the purpose for drawing the 0. Okay, 0, you put a 0 at the century on a line. That's because you want to identify the direction. So you know, so x bigger than 2, so 2 is bigger than 0, right? So that's why we put 2 on the right hand side, right, on the right. And then you basically just doing something like this. Okay, so this is actually the area for x is bigger than 2, right? Okay, I think you guys get it, right? So we always have to put a 0 at the century to identify the direction. 2 is bigger than 0, so 2 will be on the right hand side, right? If it is a negative number, then it's gonna be on the left hand side, right? Okay, so we have to go to question 4. Okay, question 4. So question 4 over here we have question 4. Okay, so okay, so I think there's one thing I didn't mention it. Okay, over here in question 3, since it's bigger than 2, so it's not covered 2, so you have to put a circle, a not fully blank circle over here, right? Okay, so over here we have x bigger than 2, right? So we have x bigger than 2, so it's not covered 2, right? It's not going to be covered 2. It's not included 2, right? So it's not included 2. So if it is not included, so you just put a circle. Okay, so if it is not included, so not included, so you just put a dot under the point. Okay, if it is included, so you have to draw a full black dot. Over here I'm using a red pen, but in the exam you cannot using a red pen. Okay, you can only use a black pen, and then you just putting a whole black circle. Okay, if it is included, so you just so those are the really important information. You need to know it. If it is not included, so you just put a blank circle. But if it is included, you have to put a full black circle. So you have to color everything. You have to color it. You have to color everything. Okay, on that point. So here is x bigger than 2. So you put a blank circle on that point. Okay, so you see what I do over here, right? Okay, Oh, that's everything for, I think that's everything for question 3, right? Okay, so let's move into question 4, the thing, yeah, okay. So now you see over here, we have equal to, right? So that means that means it is included, right? That means it is included. So you have to put a full you have to put a you have to put a you have to put the full a full circle or dot, right? A full dot under -4, right? So it's so first of all we have to draw a 0 at the strength tree always. Okay, you have to do put a 0 on the strength tree to identify the direction. So here we have a -4. So remember, the number doesn't really matter. Okay, I mean the position doesn't really matter. The position doesn't really matter. As long as you put on the right side, it's okay. Okay, it's as long as you put it on the right side, it's okay. Cause here we have -4, and then -4 is actually less than 0. It's smaller than 0, right? So you have to put -4 on the left hand side. But the position doesn't really matter. Okay, the position is not really matter. Okay, so what I mean, redraw the line. So what I mean over here is that if you put -4 here, it's also okay. But if you put -4 here, it's also okay. If you put -4 here, it's also okay. Okay, so that's what I mean. That's what I mean. The position doesn't really matter as long as you put it on the right side. It's okay. Okay, so here we're just gonna put -4 over here. Okay, and then remember the direction. So over here we have a statement x. We have a statement. So just not try to confuse a little bit. It's quite confusing, I feel like. Okay, so what we have here is x is less than equal to 4. So it's less than. That means it's gonna to the left direction, right? Right. So here we have x is less than equal to -4. So it's gonna be less than and equal to, right? So since it is equal to, you have to put a full dot. So you have a full circle and then you color it, right? You're putting a full dot on the point of -4, right? -4, since it's less than equal to. So equal to means it is included. So you have to put a full dot on the point -4, right? And then this is the solution for question 4, right? So we have x less than. So less than means it's less than -4. So which can be -5 or -6 or negative 8, right? So it's gonna be it's gonna be to the left hand side, right? So you guys start understanding, right? Okay. Okay, so let's move to question 5, I guess. Excuse me. Okay. So now in this question, right? So you see you have a 6x plus 5 bigger and equal to. So you see the equal sign. So you know it's gonna be included, right? Included means you have to put a full dot. Right? Okay, so so that's the thing. Okay, so whatever you see bigger, whatever you see bigger, equal to, or less than equal to, as long as there's an equal over there, then you know it's gonna be included, which means you have to put in a full dot under some number, right? But over here we have to solving the equation first, right? Because right now we have no way to actually put the inequality on a line, right? So we have to solve it first. So you guys don't know how to do it, right? So we have to, back on the previous video, we have to moving those things around, right? So we have a 6x over here, right? We have a 6x over here, and then we have a 5x, so we're moving the 5x to the other side, right? So 5x become negative 5x, right? And then we simply write it down bigger and equal to, right? And then we're moving the 5 to the other side. So 5 positive become positive 5 moving to the other side become negative 5, right? So it's negative 5 plus 19, right? So it's let me write it a little bit more clear. So it's negative 5 plus 19, right? So now things get a little bit easy over here, right? So we have 6x equal to 5, which is equal to x, and then bigger and equal to, right? Is negative 5 plus 19, so it's gonna be 14, right? So it's gonna be 14, right? So negative 5 plus 19 is actually gonna be 14, right? So now you get this inequality, right? Erase a little bit. So now you get this inequality, right? Now you get this inequality. So now you are able to actually put the thing on the. Now you are actually able to put the thing on the line, right? So as usual, you always have to put a 0 at the center to identify the direction, right? So here we have x bigger and equal to 14, and 14 is bigger than 0, so you know you put 14 on the right hand side, right? On the right hand side, 14 is bigger than 0, right? And then you see it's x bigger than equal to, so bigger means it's gonna be to the right direction, right? And then it's bigger and equal, so equal means you have to put in a full dot on 14, right? You have to put in a full dot to show that it's included, right? So you have to put in a full dot to show it is included, okay? Okay, that's the logic. Everything makes sense, right? So we have, so maybe I will try to explain it one more time. So we have x, after we solving the question, right? We have to, after we solve the question, we got x bigger than and equal to 14, right? So the number here is 14. So 14 is bigger than 0, so you know it should be on the right hand side, right? It's gonna be on the right hand side, right? And it's x and bigger equal to, so it's bigger. So bigger means it's on the direction will be on the right hand side, right? The direction will be on the right hand side, right? Right. So after that, you got that equal. So it's bigger than equal to 14. So you have to put in a dot, a full dot on 14, right? On that point, right? So you have to put in a full dot to show it is included. You have to include the number 14, right? So that's all the logic, right? All the logic behind to solving this question, right? Okay, so let's move to question 6. Okay, let's move into question 6. So question 6, again, you have to solve the inequality first, right? We have to solve the inequality. So what we have here is 8x and 7x. So you know you have to move in 7x to the other side, right? So 8x, 7x moving to the other side becomes negative 7x and bigger than, right? Bigger than. So you have a negative 7 over here, and then you move into the other side, it does basically become positive 7, right? So negative 7, right? So you negative 7, right? Negative 7, you move to the other side, it becomes positive 7, and positive 7 plus 3, right? Right? You guys get it, right? So negative 7 moving to the other side become positive 7, 7 plus 3. right? And then we have to simplify a little bit more. So 8. So we have 8x minus 7x, which is x, right? X is bigger than 7 plus 3, so it is 10, right? So now you get this inequality. You solve the inequality, okay? So now you actually solve the inequality. What you have right now is x bigger than 10, right? So it's x bigger than 10. So you have, as usual, you have to, when you join the line, you have to put in a 0 on the center, right? On the center to make it easy to identify direction, right? So what we have is 10 as the number. So 10 is actually bigger than 0. So you know you have to put in the 10 on the right, right? And then it's x bigger than 10. So bigger. So it's bigger. So bigger means it's to the right hand side. Okay, so it's gonna be on the right hand side, right? It's gonna be the right hand side. So it's just simply it's bigger than 10, right? It's not equal. So you just basically putting a blank hole, right? So over here, yes, it's not included. So you basically just putting a blank dot, right? Let me rewrite a little bit. Right, so you basically, right, so over here is x bigger than 10, it's not so therefore 10 is not included. So if it is not included, so you're just putting a single dot, a single blank dot, right? A single blank dot. On the point, on the point, right? On that line, the point 10, right? And then you're done with the whole question. Okay, so now you're actually done with the question. Okay. So I believe there's only 2 questions left. Okay. Okay, so let's do question 7. So let's moving on and do question 7. Okay. So when you see the equations, so you see first of all we have to solving the equation, right? We have to solve the equation to get the inequality, and then put on the line, right? So as I said before, we always have to get rid of the bracket first, right? We have to get rid of the bracket. So over here we have 2x, right? We have 2 bracket x minus 7. So let's do it. So we have 2x, right? And then we have minus 2 multiplied by 7, which is negative 14, right? 2x minus 2 multiplied by 7 is equal to 14, and is bigger than 5x minus 12, right? And then you have to switch in the sides, right? You have to. So now we have a 2x over here, and then we have a 5x. So you have to put in the 5x to the other side, right? So 2x, 5x, you put into the other side, it becomes negative 5x, right? And then it's bigger than what you have over here is a negative 14, right? So you have a negative 14 over here. You have a negative. Let me rewrite it. So you have a negative 14 over here. So you have to put into the other side. So negative 14, you put into the other side, become positive 14, right? So positive 14 minus 12, right? Negative 42, you put into the other side, become positive 14. So it's 14 minus 12, right? After that, we have to simplify a little bit more, right? So we have 2x minus 5x, so it's become negative 3x, right? So it becomes negative 3x. negative 3x is actually bigger than 14 minus 12, so it's 2, right? Okay, so what you can see over here, what we have is right now is negative 3x bigger than 2, right? We have a negative 3x bigger than 2, so here is something here is something different. It's gonna happen over here. Okay, so here there's something really important I want to tell you guys right now. Okay, so you see you have a negative 3 over here, right? And then you have a variable x. So remember, okay, remember whatever so the whatever you see this moment, you know you have to put the negative 3 to the other side, right? Negative 3, right? So I mean, whenever you see this, right, first thing coming in your mind is like, yeah, I have to put negative 3 to the other side in order to solving the question, right? I'm on my last step. That's what you're thinking, right? But over here, but over here you are half right. Okay. One more thing you have to know is that whenever there's a negative, and then there is a bigger than, right? Whenever there's a negative, then you have to switch the signal. Okay, you have to switch to the signal, and then after that, negative 3 you go into the other side, it just becomes negative 1 over 3, right? And then multiply by 2, right? And now you solve the question. Okay, so the thing you have to keep in mind is that whenever you see a negative over here, so here you have a negative, right? And then whenever you're doing, so you have to put in the negative there. You have to put in negative 3 to the other side. Negative 3 to the other side, it just becomes negative 1 over 3. So it's the reverse order. You just flip it, right? Negative 3, you reverse it, you flip it, it becomes negative 1 over 3. But don't forget, you have to switch the side. You have to switch bigger than become less than. Okay? Whenever there's a negative, you have to switch the side. Don't forget that. Cause if you forgot that, you will get wrong answer, right? So now we are on the right track. Okay, so x is actually less than negative 2 over 3. Okay, so that's the thing you have to keep in mind. You know, I just told you. You know, whenever you know there's a negative 3, yeah, you are right. Or you have to move negative 3 to the other side. Negative 3 to the other side becomes negative 1 over 3, right? But don't forget, you have to switch, you have to change the sign, right? You have to change the sign. So since it's negative, the sign of the positive bigger than and equal to will become less than. Okay, well, the sign of the bigger than will become less than. Okay, you have to switch the sign. I have repeated this many times. Okay, I think this is gonna be enough. So for now, what we get is x is less than negative 2 over 3. That's what we get for the solution. I mean for the inequality, right? Inequality. Right? So now you are able to actually put the dot. You actually put the graphic, right? Put the line. So as usual, you have a 0 on the center, right? And then you know negative 2 over 3 is actually less than 0. So you have to put negative 2 over 3 on the left hand side, right? And then over here we have x less than, right? It's less than. So you know the direction is actually to the left, right? It's actually to the left. And then you know over here is not included, right? It's not included. So you know you have to put in a blank dot, right? So you're putting a blank dot on the point -2/3. So now it's quite simple, right? So over here, right? So it's not included. You're not gonna include -2/3. So that's why you're putting a blank dot, right? A blank dot on the point -2/3, right? So now you solve the question, right? Okay. So I believe we are on our last question over here. Okay. Okay, so I believe we are on our last question over here. Yeah, so why don't you, I mean, since it's the last question, so why don't you get a try and try to solve this problem by yourself and test your understanding, right? Right? Okay, so now pause the video, okay? So okay, so we're gonna do the question right now. Okay, let's do the question. So as usual, right? We have to get rid of the bracket first, and then we have to simplify a little bit more, right? So we have 3x, right? So you write it down 3x, and then we have a plus. So plus 3 multiplied by 4, so it's gonna be 12, right? And then it's gonna be less than and equal to 7x plus 7, right? So you know you have to moving things around, right? We have to moving 7x to the other side, and then 7x it just become negative 7x, right? So it's minus 7x, right? Is right? And then it's still gonna be less than equal to, right? It's let me rewrite it. Rewrite a little bit. So it's gonna be less than and equal to, and then we have to moving 12 to the other side, right? So we have to moving 12 to the other side. So 12 moving to the other side becomes negative 12. So negative 12 plus 7, right? So we have 12 moving to the other side becomes negative 12 plus 7, right? So up on this point we have to simplify a little bit more. So we got 3x minus 7x, so it's going to be negative 4x, right? Negative 4x is less than equal to negative 12 plus 7, so it's actually negative 5, right? So negative 12, remember, so negative 12 plus 7, right? So it's going to be negative 5, right? So as we talking about the things before, right? We talking about the things before, right? The things before, right? Let me read just a little bit. I need to read just a little bit. So we have a negative sign over here, right? We have a negative sign. So you know when you're moving the negative 4 to the other side, you have to changing the sign. So over here we have less than equal to, so it just becomes bigger than equal to the reverse side. Less than equal to the reverse side will be bigger than, right? And equal is still equal, right? So that's whenever you see a negative, you have to reverse the sign, right? Right? So we have to reverse the sign. So here we have a negative 4, and then when you moving negative 4 to the other side, you also have to change the signal. You have to change the sign. Here, less than equal to just change to the reverse. So it is bigger than equal to, right? And then what we have is okay. Let me erase a little bit. So what we have over here is negative 4 to the other side becomes negative 1 over 4. And you multiply another negative 1 over 5, right? So negative 4 to the other side, you just flip it and reverse it. It becomes negative 1 over 4, right? So after that, everything becomes easy, right? So negative 5 negative 5 and negative 1 over 4, negative and negative get cancelled, right? It becomes positive. And then we have our solution, right? X is bigger and equal to 5 over 4, right? Right? So if you just multiply 1 over 4. 1 over 4 you multiply by 5, right? So which is 5 over 4, right? Which is over here is 5 over 4, right? So you get the solution x bigger and equal to 5 over 4 as the inequality, right? So now you are actually able to put the part. I mean you are actually able to put the line, right? So we as always we have to put in a 0 on the strength tree to make us easy to identify the direction, right? So we have 4 over 5. Oh, no, sorry. We have a 5 over 4. 5 over 4 is bigger than 0, right? So cos 5 over 4 is actually a positive number. So you put 5 over 4 on the right direction, right? So 5 over 4 is actually bigger than 0, so you have to put it on the right hand side, right? On the right hand side. And then you see over here is x bigger and equal to. So here it's bigger. So bigger means the full direction is actually to the right, right? It's actually to the right, right? So it's bigger. And then we got equal. Equal means we have to include the number 5 over 4. And so it is included, right? It is included. So we have to put in a full dot. We have to put in a full dot on the point 5 over 4, right? Right. So here we got, so maybe I need to repeat one more time. So we have x bigger than and equal to 5 over 4. So first of all you have to write down 5 over 4, right? You have to draw you have to put down the number 5 over 4, right? So 5 over 4 is bigger than 0, right? It's bigger than 0, right? So you put 5 over 4 on the right hand side of 0, right? 0 on the century, so 5 over 4 is bigger than 0, so you put it on the right hand side, right? As I said before, the position doesn't really matter. But you have to put it on the right side. The position doesn't really matter, okay? You have to put it on the right hand side, called it is positive, right? And then after that we got x is bigger and equal to. Since it is bigger, you know the whole direction, the region will be to the right, right? Will be to the right. The region will cover the area on the right at the point 5 over 4, right? And then we have bigger and equal. So equals means we have to include 5 over 4, right? We have to include 5 over 4. We have to include 5 over 4, right? So you're putting a full dot on the point 5 over 4, right? You're putting a full dot on the 5 over 4, right? So we solve the problem, right? So x bigger than and equal to 5 over 4. That's we solve the problem, right? Okay, so I think most people, you can start to get the right answer, right? Okay. So basically, thank you guys watching this video, this tutorial, okay? Okay. So please subscribe to my channel and leave a like the video, and also turn the notification on. I will keep uploading new video, new topic. Okay, I will keep uploading new video and new topic as always. Okay, Otherwise, if you still have any question, please leave a comment below. Okay, please leave a comment. Please, leave a comment below, and I will try to answer your question on the comment section. Okay, I will try to answer your question on the comment section. Okay, and if you if you still confusing some of the question over here, please, please feel free to leave a comment. I will try to answer your question as soon as possible. Okay, as soon as possible. So thanks you guys watching this video again, and see you guys on the next video. Okay.